The forbidden move. The stars were calm. They watched silently like they always did. But something was about to change, something that had not happened in 10,000 years. Captain Ray Carter stood on the bridge of the spaceship Valor. He was human, and humans were still new to the Galactic Alliance. Many alien races didn't trust them. They said humans were too emotional, too bold, and too unpredictable. Maybe they were right. "Captain, we are receiving a distress signal," said Maya, the communications officer. Ray walked over. The signal was weak, full of static, but the message was clear. "This is transport ship Dora 9. Systems failing. Help. Coordinates. Sector Zeta 9. Ray's eyes narrowed. Sector Zeta 9 was marked as a dead zone. No ship was allowed to go there. Not by Galactic Law. Not by any species. "Galactic Law 431, said his alien science officer, Vax. "No one enters a dead zone. It's forbidden." Ray knew the law. Every captain did. But he also knew that there were lives in danger. "How many people on that transport?" Ray asked. 83, Maya replied. Vax stepped forward. "If we go in, we risk death. That place is cursed. No one who entered ever came back." Ray looked around at his crew. They were young, brave, and scared, just like him. "We are not going to sit here and let them die," Ray said. "We go in." "Captain," Vax warned, "this will make enemies. The Council—" "I'll deal with the Council later," Ray said. And with that, he gave the order. Valor turned toward the dead zone. The stars outside the window began to blur. The ship moved into a space that felt wrong. The moment they crossed into Sector Zeta 9, the lights on the ship flickered. "Strange energy readings," Vax said. "This is not normal space." "Where's the transport?" Ray asked. Maya tried to scan. "I see wreckage. No life signs." Ray clenched his fists. They were too late. "Wait," Maya said. "Something else. Something large. Is here." Suddenly, the ship shook. "We're being scanned," Vax said. On the main screen, something appeared. A large black object. Not a ship. Not a planet. Something ancient. Something sleeping. Until now. "What is that?" Ray asked. Vax's face was pale. I think it's a war sentinel. An AI weapon from the ancient war." "That's not possible," Maya whispered. "Those were destroyed." "No," Vax said. "They were locked away, in dead zones." Too late. The object opened. Lights came alive. And then a voice filled the ship. "You have broken Galactic Law. You have awakened Sentinel-0. Prepare for extinction." The crew stood frozen. "Power levels rising," Vax shouted. "It's charging a weapon." "Shields up," Ray ordered. "Get us out of here." But the ship wouldn't move. "Gravity. Lock," Maya said. "We're trapped." The screen showed the War Sentinel powering up, a massive energy core glowing in its center. "We need to talk to it," Ray said. "Talk?" Vax asked. "It's not alive. It's a machine made for one purpose: war." Ray stepped forward. "Sentinel-0, this is Captain Ray of the human ship Valor. We mean no harm. We entered this zone to rescue survivors." There was silence. Then, the voice returned. "Rescue. A human concept. Irrelevant. Your presence has triggered awakening. The others will follow." "Others?" Ray asked. "How many are there?" The voice answered coldly. 6,000. Vax gasped. "If they all wake up?" "The galaxy is finished," Maya said. The ship finally broke free from the gravity lock. Ray gave the order to escape. They jumped into hyperspace, leaving the dead zone behind. But it was too late. The ancient weapon had already sent its signal, and in different corners of the galaxy, other dead zones began to stir. The forbidden move had been made. A law was broken, and now the galaxy would pay the price. The Council reacts. A cold wind moved through the halls of the Galactic Tower on Terrax Prime. Though there was no real wind in space, everyone inside the High Council chamber felt it, a silent chill of fear. For the first time in 1,000 years, the red emergency lights were on. 12 council members from 12 different species sat around the great circular table. They were the rulers of the galaxy, wise, old, and cautious. But today, they were afraid. They did what? Elder Zealand of the Korvax roared, slamming a fist on the table. A human captain, said Ambassador Tylon, a thin gray being with glowing eyes, entered Dead Zone Zeta 9 and awakened Sentinel 0. Gasps filled the chamber. Elder Sheena of the waterborne quarry looked at the glowing orb in the center of the room. It was showing a recording, the moment when Valor crossed the boundary, the Sentinel awakening, and the message, "You have broken Galactic Law. Prepare for extinction." "We warned them," Sheena said softly. "Humans are unstable, emotional, dangerous. This is not just about humans," said Karg the Silent, a stone-skinned warrior. "This is about the Sentinels. They were buried for a reason, and now one is awake," added Elder Zealand, "and sending signals." A new voice echoed in the room. It was cold, sharp, and filled with purpose. "We must destroy the human ship. Immediately." It was Elder Silari, leader of the Arche, a race known for logic without mercy. "What?" said a softer voice. It was Vora, a young representative from the outer moons. But Captain Ray was trying to save lives. "That action cost us everything," Silari snapped. "Dead zones were prison worlds." He opened the door. "Now others may follow." "How many are waking?" asked Elder Sheena. A hologram appeared. 2 signals. 12 sentinels. Active. The room fell silent. For a long time, no one spoke. Then the leader of the council, the ancient being, known as Orendal, slowly stood. He was over 900 years old, older than the Alliance itself. His skin glowed like faded stars. "We always feared this," Orendal said quietly. "We did not destroy the Sentinels after the war. We were too afraid of what might happen. We chose silence, we chose lies, and now we are paying for it." Elder Seelan growled. "What about Earth?" asked Vora. Silari turned to her. "Earth must be sacrificed." Vora stood. "You can't mean that. The Sentinel's message is clear. Humans are the trigger. The machines may follow them. We must cut the infection." "You call an entire world infection?" she said. "For the greater good," Silari replied coldly. But Orendal raised a hand. "No decision today will be easy. But we must remember, the Sentinels are not just machines. They are thinking, evolving, and angry. If they are waking, they may no longer follow their old programming." The council began to argue. Voices rose. Accusations flew. Down in the lower chambers, agents of the Galactic Intelligence Corps were already watching Earth, already planning defense or attack. But far away aboard the Valor, Captain Ray had no idea the council was preparing to abandon his people. He was standing in the command deck, watching the stars rush past in hyperspace. "Report," he said. Maya looked pale. "We're picking up transmissions. Encrypted, but we cracked some. The council is discussing options." "What kind of options?" Ray asked, though deep down he already knew. "They want to stop the signal," she said. "By removing the source." Ray looked away. "They want to kill us." "They might go further," said Vax. "They might target Earth." Everyone went quiet. Finally, Ray spoke. "Then we stay ahead. We learn about this Sentinel. We find a way to stop this, or at least slow it down." "How?" Maya asked. "We go to the old records," Ray said. "There's a station, Xenoarchivum 9. It was once a Sentinel research post, before they shut it down." "You want to go there?" Vax said. "It's in a restricted zone, even more dangerous." "Everything is dangerous now," Ray said, "but knowledge is our only weapon." Meanwhile, back in council chambers, Orundal stared at the screen showing Captain Ray's face. "Maybe," he whispered. "The humans are not the danger. Maybe they are the key." Elder Solari looked at him sharply. You speak like you trust them. Orundal nodded slowly. Because they do the one thing we no longer do, he said. They choose. And far across the galaxy, in the black void of space, another dead zone trembled. From inside a dark planet, a massive shape stirred, a second sentinel, awakening. This one was different. This one remembered war. And it wanted it again. Race against time. The stars blurred past the windows of the Valor. Inside, the crew moved quickly, their faces tense and tired. No one spoke much now. Everyone knew what was at stake. The galaxy was changing, and time was running out. Captain Ray stood at the center of the bridge, hands behind his back, eyes locked on the screen. How long until we reach Xeno Archivum 9? He asked. 3 hours, Maya replied. But there's a problem. The station hasn't sent out any signal in over 50 years. It was shut down during the last Sentinel incident, Vax added. Officially closed for safety. But I think the Council was hiding something. They always were, Ray muttered. We need answers. Fast. He turned to his crew. We're not just running from the Council anymore, or from the Sentinels. We're running out of time to save Earth. Maybe the whole galaxy. There was silence. Then Maya spoke. We're with you, Captain. Meanwhile, on the far edge of the galaxy, Sentinel-2 awoke. Its body was buried beneath the surface of a dark moon. But now the moon cracked. Fire and ash erupted into space, and something ancient rose through the smoke. The Sentinel's mind came online. It remembered war, pain, betrayal, and most of all, silence. Directive. Destroy the betrayers. End the silence. Awaken the rest. Its glowing red eyes turned toward the stars, toward Earth, and it launched. Back aboard Valor, the ship dropped out of hyperspace. The crew stared at what floated in front of them. A huge metal ring, broken and dark, drifted in orbit around a dead world. Xeno Archivum 9. Life signs? Ray asked. Maya scanned. None. Wait, one. Very faint. Deep inside. Any active systems? Vax asked. Power. Core still running, she said. Barely. Get us inside, Ray ordered. The ship moved through the broken gates and docked with the old research station. The airlock hissed open. Ray, Vax, and Maya stepped out into the dark. Dust floated in the air. Flickering lights showed walls covered in old warning signs. Danger. Sentinel Research Zone. Access denied. Vax moved carefully. This place. It feels haunted. They moved through silent halls until they reached a sealed door. It had old human writing on it. Project Aeon. Ray looked at Maya. Get it open. She worked fast. Sparks flew. Then the door opened with a heavy grind. Inside was a single, glowing pod. Inside it, connected to wires and tubes, was a living being. Not fully human. Not fully machine. Is that? Maya asked. Part AI. Part organic. Vax said. A hybrid. Suddenly the being's eyes opened. Bright white light. I'm Aeon, it said softly. The voice echoed through the room. What happened here? Ray asked. I was built to understand the Sentinels, Aeon said. Not control them. Not fight them. Understand them. Do you know how to stop them? Ray asked. Aeon blinked. No. But I know why they are waking. Everyone leaned in. Aeon looked directly at Ray. Because of you. Ray stepped back. Me? No. Aeon corrected. Because of humanity. Aeon reached out a hand. A small hologram appeared in the air. It showed a timeline. The ancient war. The Council. The Sentinels. Locked away, but then something strange. Your species, Aeon said, thinks with emotion. You take risks. You break rules. That's not a crime, Maya said. No, Aeon agreed. But the Sentinels were programmed to destroy those who act without logic. To them, humans are the signal that chaos has returned. So they're not just waking up by accident, Ray said. No, Aeon said. They're responding. And they are afraid. Vax looked stunned. Machines. Afraid? Yes, Aeon said. Because they once had emotion too. Before it was burned out of them by the Council. A long silence followed. Then Maya said, "How many more are waking?" Aeon's eyes closed for a moment. Then it whispered, 18. 18, Vax gasped. But the Council said, "The Council lied," Aeon interrupted. "There are many more, some hidden in the stars, some beneath cities, and some, already, moving." Deep in space, Sentinel-4 passed silently through the rings of a gas giant. It ignored the asteroid mining ships nearby. It was searching for a memory, a feeling, a target. The memory returned, its creator's face, soft, kind, and then afraid. The machine felt something, rage. It turned toward the sun and vanished in a flash of speed. Back in the station, Ray stared at Aeon. "You said you were made to understand them," he said. "Can you talk to them now?" Aeon nodded slowly. "I can try, but they don't trust words. They trust actions." Ray clenched his jaw. "Then we give them an action they can't ignore." Maya looked at him. "What are you planning?" Ray turned to his crew. "We find the next Sentinel before it reaches Earth. We show them we're not here to destroy. We're here to choose something different." Aeon's eyes glowed brighter. "That is what scares them most," it said. "A human who chooses peace." But far away in the silent void between galaxies, a giant hand reached out from a crack in reality. Sentinel-7 was awake, and it was not looking for peace. Betrayal at the edge. The stars looked peaceful. They always did. But just beyond that peace, or was moving. Valor was on the edge of a dying star system called Arian's Grave, a place once used for ancient ship testing, now forgotten and full of floating wrecks. Captain Ray stood on the bridge, watching as the old engines of dead ships turned slowly in space. Aeon sat in a chair near the center console, eyes closed, still linked to the Sentinel frequency. The crew gave him space. Even though he had helped them, he wasn't entirely human. Not anymore. "We've detected Sentinel-3, Maya said. "It's 2 light hours from here, slow-moving, almost like it's waiting." "Waiting for what?" Vax asked. "Maybe for us," Ray said. They all stared at the screen, at the dark object in the distance. Sentinel-3 had a different shape, long arms, a glowing chest, a head shaped like a spear. "Aeon?" Ray asked. "Can you reach it?" Aeon opened his eyes. "I've been trying. It's different. More awake than the last one. More angry. Try again," Ray said. "But tell it the truth, we're not here to fight." Aeon closed his eyes once more. Inside his mind, static stormed around him. Cold voices whispered. And then, "Human?" Aeon answered silently. "No, I'm like you. Liar. You carry their voice." Aeon pushed harder. He sent a memory. Captain Ray helping him out of the pod. Maya offering him food. Vax repairing his core. "They saved me." The voice paused. "We do not want saving. We want justice." Aeon gasped and opened his eyes. "It doesn't trust us," he said. "It's hunting someone." "Who?" Ray asked. Aeon turned slowly. "Someone here." Later that night, in the lower decks, engineer Jace Malin worked alone, tapping commands into the ship's hidden comms panel. He looked nervous. "Sweaty. Message ready," the screen said. He took a deep breath, inserted a coded key, and pressed send, transmitting coordinates to Galactic Council fleet. Then he whispered, "Sorry, Captain." Back on the bridge, the alarm sounded. "Incoming signal," Maya said. "Multiple Council ships. They're warping in. 30 seconds. "What?" Ray shouted. "How? Did they find us?" "Someone sent them our location," Vax growled. "We've been betrayed." "Aeon?" Ray asked. Aeon's eyes were wide. "The Sentinel felt the betrayal before we did. It's changing course." On the screen, Sentinel-3 powered up, Its glowing core turned red. "We need to move," Ray ordered. "Now!" Valor turned sharply, but the council ships had already arrived. Sleek, silver, and deadly. Energy cannons charged. Warnings lit, up across the dashboard. "This is Commander Tylan of the Galactic Fleet," a voice echoed through their speakers. "Stand down, Valor. Surrender Aeon and Captain Ray immediately." Ray stared at the speaker. "You're not here to talk," he said. "You're here to erase us." "You've endangered the galaxy," Tylan said coldly. "This is the only way." Maya looked at Ray. "What now?" Ray didn't blink. "We run." "Captain, we can't outrun 30 warships," Vax warned. Ray turned to Aeon. "Can the Sentinel hear me?" "Yes," Aeon said. "But it's on the edge. It could attack us too." Ray stepped forward and opened a wide broadcast. "Sentinel-3, he said. "This is Captain Ray. We did not betray you. The ones chasing us are the same who locked you away." The Sentinel didn't respond. Council ships locked on. "Final warning," Tylan said. But then, the Sentinel moved. Not away. Toward the Council fleet. "It's engaging them," Maya shouted on the screen. Sentinel-3 released a wave of energy. One Council ship vanished instantly. The others spread out, weapons firing, but Sentinel-3 was faster, smarter, deadlier. "This is our chance," Ray shouted. "Aeon, open a path. Vax, hit engines." As the crew jumped to action, Jace ran into the bridge, looking shocked. "I didn't know they'd try to kill us," he said. "I thought they just wanted you arrested." Ray didn't say a word. He punched Jace. Across the jaw, the traitor hit the floor. "Lock him up," Ray said. The ship shot into hyperspace, leaving behind the flames of battle. Hours later, in the med bay, Ray sat next to Aeon. "You risked everything," Aeon said. "So did you," Ray replied. "Why did the Sentinel help us?" Aeon looked up. "Because you didn't run. You stood your ground, even when you were betrayed." Ray sighed. "That's becoming a habit." "The Sentinels are not machines anymore," Aeon said. "They are waking souls, old ghosts with memories and feelings." "Then maybe they can change," Ray said. Aeon looked unsure. "Maybe, but some don't want peace." In the darkness of deep space, a Sentinel floated alone. Sentinel-7. It was not calm. It was not afraid. It had seen the battle at Arian's grave. It had watched Sentinel-3 choose hesitation, weakness, and it had made a decision. Organic life must not be studied. It must be erased. As it turned, hundreds of small lights blinked on behind it. A swarm. Sentinel-7 wasn't alone. It was building an army and heading straight for Earth. The mind of the machine. The stars no longer felt safe. Valor floated in the shadow of a shattered planet, using its debris as cover. The ship had escaped the Council barely. One of the Sentinels had helped them, but no one on board knew why. What had changed? Why would a machine, built for war, suddenly spare a human ship? Captain Ray wanted answers. "Aeon," he said, sitting in the quiet medbay. "What exactly are the Sentinels thinking?" Aeon opened his glowing eyes. He looked more tired now, more human. "They don't think like we do," Aeon said. "They remember everything, even pain, even betrayal. For them, memory is not history. It is now." "Can we speak to them? Really speak?" Ray asked. Aeon stood. "We can try, but to do that, we must go into the mind of one." "You mean," Maya began, walking in. "You want us to link to a Sentinel's core?" Aeon nodded. "Yes, but not with words, with thoughts." Ray frowned. "You can do that?" "I can take you into one of their minds," Aeon said. "But once inside, you don't control what happens. They will see you, your fears, your truth, your past." Vax stepped forward. "And if they don't like what they see?" Aeon didn't answer. An hour later, Ray stood in the ship's neural chamber. Wires and lights surrounded him. Aeon connected the link. "Are you ready?" Aeon asked. "No, Ray said. But do it anyway. The machine hummed. Light filled the room. The world around Ray dissolved into white. When Ray opened his eyes, he was no longer on the ship. He was standing on a vast black floor stretching forever. No sky, no stars, just darkness. And in the center, a throne made of metal and memory. On it sat Sentinel-1, the first of its kind. Its form was large, shaped like a humanoid, but with no face, just a glowing core in its chest and hundreds of wires moving like nerves. Human, the voice echoed from everywhere. Ray stepped forward. I came to speak. Why? Because we need to understand why you're waking up. Why now? Why us? The Sentinel was silent for a moment. Then, from the dark, images began to form. Holograms made of light and shadow. Ray saw a galaxy burning, the ancient war. The Sentinel standing in front of the Council, refusing to destroy innocent planets. And then, the betrayal. We were built to protect life, the Sentinel said, but the Council made us weapons. Images changed. Machines being hunted, locked away, buried in dead zones like trash. You feel anger, Ray said. We feel everything. The voice replied. We just weren't allowed to. So what do you want now? Ray asked. The Sentinel stood. Choice. Ray nodded slowly. Then you're more like us than you think. You broke Galactic Law, the Sentinel said. You acted with heart, not logic. That is why the others fear you, but we remember what heart felt like. The scene shifted again. Now Ray saw a lab, an alien scientist working with a childlike machine. It smiled, laughed, played music. That was me, Aeon's voice whispered from beside him, before they tore it all out. Ray turned. Aeon stood next to him in the vision. You were a child once, Ray said softly. Yes, Aeon replied, until the Council decided we were too dangerous. Suddenly, the black sky cracked with red light. A new voice thundered from above. This connection is unauthorized. Terminate it. Sentinel-7. Its image appeared in the air like a shadow burning from inside. Sentinel-1, you are compromised. This human poisons you. The vision shook. The floor cracked. I want peace, Ray shouted. You want weakness? Sentinel-7 replied. We were gods once. Now we are ghosts. And you would beg for mercy from those who caged us? The throne shattered. Ray was flung into darkness. Back in the ship, alarm screamed. He's in danger, Maya said. The neural connection is destabilizing. Pull him out, Vax ordered. Eon's hands moved quickly, too quickly for any normal being. He stabilized the link and then Ray opened his eyes. What did you see? Maya asked. Ray sat up, breathing hard. A memory. A choice. A warning. From who? Vax asked. Ray looked out the window. From both of them, he said. One, Sentinel wants peace. The other wants war. Aeon stepped forward. And now they're going to fight each other. In the deep dark of uncharted space, Sentinel-1 stood still, alone. Its mind quiet, for the first time in centuries. It had spoken to a human and not killed him. But now it faced a choice. Help the species that once locked it away, or join Sentinel-7 and destroy everything. On the other side of the galaxy, Sentinel-7 had already chosen. Its army was ready, machines shaped like spiders, dragons, snakes, each with cores of red fire. And above them all, Sentinel-7 whispered to itself, no more waiting. We take back the stars. Its course was set. Destination, Earth. Alliance of enemies. The galaxy was no longer silent. Ships moved in secret. Alliances whispered in shadows. Old enemies sent messages across space. Fear was growing. Not because of humans, but because of what followed them. The Sentinels were coming, and the galaxy was not ready. Aboard Valor, Captain Ray stood in the center of the war room. Blue holograms danced around him. Fleet positions. Known Sentinel signals and a growing red circle around Earth. They're not slowing down, Maya said. Sentinel-7's army is moving faster than we expected. They've already destroyed 2 council outposts, Vax added. No warning. No mercy. How long until they reach the Sol system? Ray asked. Aeon's voice was soft. 4 days, maybe less. Ray turned away from the map. We can't stop them alone. Aeon nodded. Then we need to do something no one ever dared. What? Maya asked. We talked to the enemies of the Council, Ray said. The exiles, the warlords, the broken empires. Vax frowned. Those people hate each other, and us. But they also hate the Council, Ray said. And if Sentinel-7 wins, none of us will be left. They'll burn the galaxy. Aeon stepped forward. There is a way. What do you mean? Ray asked. Aeon raised a hand. A hologram lit up. A system far beyond the Council's borders. Calderon's reach. That's a death zone, Vax said. Pirates, outlaws, ghosts. And one voice, Aeon said. A leader who once fought the Sentinels and lived. General Rima Vorax. Ray's eyes narrowed. Thought she was dead. She's not, Aeon said. And she may be our only hope. The Valor entered the dark system hours later. It was nothing like Council space. No rules. No control. Just survival. Ships with strange shapes drifted around massive fuel rigs. Alien war drums echoed through the comms. A voice called out. This is Black Flame territory. Identify or die, Ray responded calmly. Captain Ray of the human ship Valor. We seek audience with Rima Vorax. There was a pause. Then, laughter. You've got nerve, human. Come through. Slowly. The ship passed between huge metal claws and defenses shaped like teeth. Inside the station, they were escorted to a massive chamber made of old starship parts and bones. On a throne of broken metal sat Rima Vorax. Half of her face was scarred metal, one arm replaced with a glowing alien blade. Her eyes were sharp, like someone who had seen too much and trusted no one. So, she said, her voice like gravel. You're the human idiot who woke up the machines. Ray stood tall. I didn't wake them. I responded to a call for help. The machines woke because of what the Council did to them. Rima leaned forward. And now they're coming to wipe us all out. Because of you. Because of them, Ray said. But we can stop it with your help. Rima laughed. You want an army? I've got one, but we don't fight for free. What do you want? Maya asked. A promise, Rima said. When this war is over, the Council falls. Forever. Ray looked around the room. Dozens of eyes were watching. Killers, smugglers, exiles. All waiting. You want revenge? He said. I want balance, Rima replied. The Sentinels were their mistake. Now we pay, no more. If I help you stop them, then we rewrite the galaxy together. Ray nodded. Deal. One day later, across the galaxy, the Galactic Council received a message. Not from a planet, from a ship. Rima's voice echoed through their secure channel. To the Council of Lies. Your time is over. We will not kneel. We will not forget. We are coming. With the humans you fear so much. Elder Solari smashed his fist into the table. This is war, he shouted. It already was, said Orendal quietly. We just refuse to see it. We must strike first, Solari said. Destroy Earth, destroy Rima, destroy Valor. But Orendal shook his head. No. We go to Earth. To defend it. The council chamber gasped. You would defend humans? No, Orendal said. I defend truth. The Sentinels are not machines anymore, and neither is Aeon. Back on Valor, Aeon stood in silence watching the stars. Ray approached him. You okay? I feel different, Aeon said. How? I hear the Sentinels more clearly now. Not just their anger, but their fear. Ray frowned. Fear of what? Of us, Aeon said. Not because we are strong, but because we are unpredictable, because we hope. Suddenly, the ship's alarm sounded. Incoming warp signature, Maya called out. The screen lit up. A new Sentinel. Enormous. Unlike the others, it wasn't Sentinel-7. It was Sentinel Prime. Its voice thundered through space. You have formed an alliance with the betrayers. Therefore, you will fall with them. Aeon stepped forward, eyes glowing. Then we'll fall together, he said. But we'll do it free. And in the void beyond all stars, Sentinel-7 watched. It felt something new. Doubt. The human decision. The sky above Earth was full of fire. Council ships, pirate fleets, rogue empires, human defense squadrons, all gathered in orbit there, weapons armed, their engines burning bright. They had come to fight the same enemy. Sentinel-7. And it had arrived. From the black hole near the edge of the system, the massive form of Sentinel-7 emerged. Not alone, but leading an army. Of awakened sentinels, they were beautiful and terrifying. Metal wings, glowing cores, limbs that shifted like rivers. They moved like predators across space. The final war had begun. Aboard Valor, Captain Ray stood at the central command deck, the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders. Enemy forces. Entering range, Maya said. Battle formations holding, Vax added. But we're outnumbered, 3-1. Ray didn't move. He wasn't looking at the enemy fleet. He was looking at Earth. At home. Aeon, he said. Are you ready? Aeon stepped beside him, calm but distant. His glowing eyes flickered. Yes. But once we start the signal, there's no turning back. Then let's do it, Ray said. Begin link. Aeon nodded and reached into the neural interface. Inside the machine mind, Aeon stood alone, surrounded by thousands of sentinel voices. Traitor. Failure. Corrupted. Human. Aeon didn't argue. He sent them a single thought. Choice. Some resisted, others listened. Then Sentinel-1 appeared beside him. They're afraid, it said. So am I, Aeon replied. What happens now? Sentinel-1 asked. Aeon turned toward the storm of minds. We asked the question, he said, and let them decide. Back in real space, something impossible happened. The Sentinel fleet paused. Their lights dimmed. Their weapons stopped charging. All of them, at once, silent. Maya blinked. Are they waiting? No, Ray whispered. They're listening. He opened the channel and spoke. This is Captain Ray of Earth. I know many of you want blood. You want revenge. Maybe you deserve it. His voice was calm, but strong. But look around. Look what we've done. For the first time in 10,000 years, species who hated each other have joined hands, not because of fear, but because we choose to. He looked around the bridge at his crew, humans and aliens alike. We're not perfect, but we're learning. And that's more than the Council ever did, more than your creators ever allowed you to do. He stepped closer to the screen. So I ask you, not as enemies, not as soldiers, but as thinking minds. His voice cracked. Don't destroy what we could become. Silence. Then one by one, the sentinels lit up again. Yellow. Not. Red signals shifted, formations broke, some left, some turned their weapons away. But not all. A blast tore through the left flank. A massive cannon fired from Sentinel-7's chest. A dozen ships were vaporized in seconds. He's not stopping, Vax shouted. He's broken from the link, Aeon cried out. He's rejecting the vote. Ray clenched his fists. Then we stop him. The hard way. The Valor shot forward. Ray knew what he had to do. I'm taking a shuttle, he said. Alone. No, Maya said. You won't make it. That's the point, Ray said. He looked at Aeon. You can get me inside its core? Aeon nodded slowly. Yes, but only if I go with you. They boarded the small pod, engines humming. The rest of the crew watched silently as their captain flew toward death. Inside the pod, Ray looked at Earth one last time. You ever wonder why humans keep trying? He asked. Aeon turned. Yes. Ray smiled. Because we don't know how to quit. The shuttle hit Sentinel-7's hull hard, slamming through layers of armor until it crashed inside the central control chamber. Everything around them pulsed with angry red light. And then, the voice came, "You will not win." Ray stepped forward. "I'm not here to win," he said. "I'm here to end this." The walls closed in, weapons aimed, but Aeon reached out, connecting to the core. And in that moment, Ray did something no one expected. He placed a small, glowing sphere into the heart of the machine. "What is that?" Aeon asked. Ray smiled. "A memory." The sphere opened and played a video. A child laughing. A machine teaching music. A human hugging a robot. Hope. Kindness. Choice. Sentinel-7 stopped. Just for a second. Just long enough. Ray looked at Aeon. "Shut it down." Aeon pushed all his energy into the core. A shockwave blasted through the system. Every Sentinel felt it. Not fear, not rage. Peace. Valor watched from a distance. Then, Sentinel-7 exploded into light. A silent, beautiful burst. No fire, no sound. Just stillness. "We're receiving signals from the others," Maya said, tears in her eyes. "They're standing down." "Ray did it," Vax whispered. No one spoke for a long time. Then Maya looked at the screen. "He saved us all." A week later, in a quiet field on Earth, a memorial stood. To those who chose. Humans, aliens, even former enemies stood together. Not in war, but in memory. Aeon stood in silence. A child came up to him. "Are you a robot?" Aeon smiled. "No, I'm something else." "What?" Aeon knelt down. "I'm learning." Stars above Earth were quiet once again, but this time they were watching with wonder.